Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and welcome to a best of three traditional Zendikar Rising draft with Travis Semulin Sowers. If you'd like to watch the drafting action live, you can catch it at www.twitch.tv/Semulin. So this pack leaves a bit to be desired here. We've got the Mystic if we want to go in on Wizards, Relic Axe if we want to try Warrior things, I suppose the Felidar because we've identified that green-white can be open a bit. I think the Mystic is probably the highest upside pick if Wizards is actually open. If it's not, I don't think I miss abandoning it very much. Like, say we pick this and get past a Relic Amulet, we're pretty happy. And if we don't, we'll live with it. Like, the upside of the Felidar and the Champion or the Relic Axe is they can go in decks other than one specific color pair. Yeah, I think I'm off the 4-screen train. I've broken the format about 5 times, and it just never actually works. So here we've got Nahiri's Binding and Bubble Tea. These are basically the same cards, right? This one can answer Planeswalkers, which is nice. I feel like in the blind, we would take the Binding over the Bubble Snare. But Bubble Snare has shenanigans. And it could still go in the Wizard deck if we get into Wizards. I like Spoils of Adventure a good bit, too. I don't see a whole lot of difference between them, but I think on its own, Bubble Snare is a little bit better. The reason I was saying the Binding might be better is just because I've noticed a lot of people not drafting white, but we don't really know what's open yet. Although we know we can probably be blue with a Bubble Snare and a Falconeer. Of note, there's a Rabid Bite and Binding number 5, essentially. Bubble Snare has tempo value too. Oh, you mean just playing it for 1 on something that's already tapped? Sure. Like, I like Balagad Recovery and I like Rabid Bite a lot. But I feel like we can do blue things. This pack leaves me a little wanting. We do have a payoff for being in Rogues in the Relic Golem. So we could kind of position ourselves to go into that if the Wizards don't open up. I don't like Barrage very much or Spellcraft. Cognition's always playable, but it's not really a reason to be in a particular color pair. So I think I'm going to take the Golem here and see if that opens up. There's a possibility I should be taking the Risen Riptide, but I feel like you can find those later because we felt like green's a little bit more open. So here's a matter of commit or stay open, right? Like we could take the Reclaim the Wastes and have a foot into green, or we could take the Sky Dancer and say we're going to do rogue things. I don't think the wizard things are happening. I think I'd rather have my foot into 2 decks. Like, let's say there was a better rogue, I'd consider it here. Okay. Interesting. So now all of a sudden we've got the possibility to still be in Wizards. Oh, the Colossuses are pretty easy to pick up. We're still not necessarily far away from Blue-Red Wizards. I think I'll take an Electromancer here and just kind of continue to navigate through this until I get a very clear, hey, this color pair is open, draft it, you idiot. Because I'm just not seeing it yet. The black's not coming, so we can kind of take the Relic Golem out of the mix. Ambush is a fine 2-drop. So is the Survivor. So like maybe blue-red is still on the menu? All right, field research I like quite a bit. I feel like we're at least doing blue things. Now, if we could get into Wizards, these Chilling Traps are actually pretty dang good. And this is really the only green we've seen aside from that one Rabid Bite pack. So I think I'm going to try Wizards, but I kind of need to see another one to get me excited about it. And the 2-drops would need to be Wizards too. Or at least something. This pack sucks too. All right, we'll take a blue card. Meh, 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 meh. I don't like any of this. I suppose there's a possibility we play a Tormenting Voice. Glacial Grasp we can probably just play as a one of and be happy with. So I think we've ended up in blue-red just because there really wasn't anything else going on. This has been a tough pack, and I'm not opposed to moving out if we see something that would put me in another direction. Like, ordinarily, this would do it. Because there's a sense that green could be open this way. Like, I don't feel like I'm that far off from blue-green stuff. The only issue is it's competing with a Royal Mage, which would be good in the Wizard stack. This is super awkward. So it's like, do we continue picking Wizard stuff because we have some? Or do we continue to try to stay open? This isn't a bomb spell. It's a very solid removal spell. I think I'll give it a go. Yeah, the Royal Mage will work in all of the decks. This gives us a significant power spike if we end up green. But now we end up in the spot of like, hey, what you want to do here? It's probably not Adamant, except we don't know what we're necessarily getting back with it. I feel like the 2 Mystics is enough for me to just get in on Wizards. I really like the Sky Dancer too, but this is at least one neighbor that's not interested, and we'll miss the Royal Mage, but I think we'll be okay. Now I don't have to miss it as much. And I can maybe spin that trap. We don't realistically want to play this either. I saw the bite. All right, all right, all right. We know about grab theory. I'm usually pretty happy with crab theory. It's even a decent blocker. I really need my dudes to be wizards. I could sort of see a bug catcher going in here. So I've tried a lot of different strategies, Duke, and I haven't found one that consistently works. I believe we could try blue-red party stuff and see if it does anything. It's not going to do a lot of things. But like, so the thing, Duke, in most of the other formats, I was able to identify something that I could pretty consistently get into and win with. So in Akora, for example, we could draft Mardu and it would work great. We've already got a Golem in the sideboard, Fireblade. We could play it. And in the most recent core set, everybody said black was really bad, so I could basically just get all of the black cards at the table and we were set up. In this format, I haven't been able to identify what that is. Like, if there's a color pair that's just underdrafted, I haven't managed to find it yet. I don't think we would want to Lagak, but I could sideboard a negate. So like base green worked for a couple days, but then it didn't. We could, to be fair, probably play this golem with the crab. It's just if we draw them in the wrong order, it's going to suck. So Lindy Vision we could probably run here. It at least triggers the wizards on its own. I don't think the shepherds are a reason to be in that color pair. They're not bad. But they haven't exactly blown my mind. I mean, is there a world where I'm doing Reclaim the Way stuff? I don't think so. What a weird draft. I say that every time I draft this format, but this is a weird format. I guess we're on double crab theory now. Like, this gives me a way to potentially win a game, so let's take it. I kind of want to get a blood beckoning in the list now. Yeah, if we can stay alive, we're in good shape. This is a pretty decent wizard to grab. I could use some more threes, but... Duke! Dude, that is very generous. Thank you very much. Continuing your own sub and then just dropping a gift sub bomb? Thank you, dude. Y'all spam some cats for Duke. I appreciate it, my man. Thank you very much. Wow. We're going to keep doing these YouTube drafts, that's for sure. So this guy doesn't really get me much. Spark Mage might be okay, though. It's probably just doing 2 damage, but that's pretty good. We could play a Fury. We could play a Champion. Golems? I've already got 1 Golem. I don't know that we're playing both. I really appreciate it, Duke. Thank you. That's a big deal, man. Second Golem? Yeah, maybe with the crabs, we're just on board with this now, eh? I could see that being a thing we're doing. I'm probably okay on 2 drops because I can play the squid if I have to, so we can take another spell land here. There's the Thought Thief. Finally, we see what color pair we were supposed to be into. Far, far too late. All right, this is a deck. This is a deck that I can play. That's about all I can say for it. I fully expect this one to go 3-0. Yeah, I think we're going to play the squid as our last card here. It's just... I'm completely lost in this format, and I'm normally not. If we decide we want to splash the Blood Beckoning, this sort of gives us a way to do that. But I do think we're kind of entirely on the crab / golem plan. And I think I've got enough wizards to run 1 chilling trap. I don't think this looks beautiful, but I think it looks like something we can play. So let's give it a go. I never used the Zendikar sleeves, and we're drafting Zendikar. Let's use the Zendikar sleeves. I guess Rogues is what I should have been in, looking back. And we had some indication of that, but it was just like picking Rogues because they were there. Let's just crab some people out. I built, I think it was Thursday, a green-white deck, and I splashed for a crab as basically my only win condition, and it worked. We don't have the turn 1 crab here, but we've at least got a decent curve out. Yeah, the life gain angels are fine, but I find a lot of success in this set comes from picking an ARB type and praying the payoffs come. Yeah, but like, what if they don't? Like, I'm down with it if you build it, they will come strategy, but sometimes they don't. Get squidded. If they don't fall back on the it's all 2-1s anyway plan. Fair, fair. It's going to be a little difficult for me to deal with. Unless they just want to trade it for this champion. I don't even get the card off of this because it fizzles. I can have them block with it and then Chilling Trap it potentially. Well, good news is we were never drawing land, so I'm glad we got that out of the way. That's fair, Richard. Maybe gambling is the way to do it. And just accept that some decks are going to be 3-0s and some ain't. I think I'm relatively happy trading this for the 2-3 and letting him put the counter on there. I want to see where that counter goes first. Because they shouldn't be able to get through the Falconeer. I've never really played poker consistently. Do I have anything to get back that I'm interested in? I mean, the Chilling Trap isn't terrible. I feel like we attack here, these trade off. I can play the Mystic. Yeah, that works. That works. We can start getting some tempo going here. I think this is the way I'm supposed to be going, but it's close. It gets me in the most damage. That's not crazy either, Fireblade. Yeah, I think that might have been a better line. I mean, maybe that's the other aspect of this format being difficult. Not to make excuses, but to make an excuse. I am not feeling 100% today. I think I like this because if they eat... Yeah, this works. This works out just fine. I'm old enough to remember when this was a mill deck. Fair. Well, I'm glad you're here in Kickin' Mystery. I mean, we got a little lucky to have the domination on top. But one thing I have discovered is that if you put good cards in your deck, sometimes you will draw them. Bounce would be really good against them, and we just don't have any, huh? I mean, the good news is they'll never expect the crabs coming this way, right? It's a crazy strategy. Just crazy enough to work. I think this one goes down to... All right, there's one card for our dude. All is well. I don't think we want to cycle this trap, but I might. Well, I guess if they attack it, I can block, we cycle it. They're too smart, and it's scurry, but I get them. They probably have another Deadly Alliance here. I really hope they don't. No, they've seen the card a couple times. I don't think it's crazy for them to suspect that I have it. I think I just want to take the two cards here. We're a ways off from this doing its thing, but... I may have one too many lands in this deck. I don't think I should have played that out. So we're actually up against Grixis party. Yeah, I would say I have one too many lands in this deck. Haha, joke's on you. Yeah, I need to be careful not to play this wizard out. The Golden Kappa. We have seen it in its true form. So even having these two to block isn't enough to save us here. That's a pretty rare event, boys and girls watching on YouTube. The Golden Kappa is just not seen everywhere. Observe. How incredibly lucky we're getting. Check it out. All right, I do think I can beat this. I need to not play out the spell lands as lands. Because we're actually running 3 spell lands, which means I'm functionally running an 18 land deck if I play this one out, and I don't think I can really afford to. So we're fine. We could also, you know, draw the crabs. That would be bueno. Let's see about hitting one of them crabs in the openers. We should eventually hit it, right? Oh, what a bad hand. It needs 1 land out of an 18 land deck to get going, though. We keep it. I just remember when this was a crab deck. Yeah, the island better would have been better. Fair. Fair. Just in case we top deck a crab. Yeah, we got some real shy crabs, yo. All right. I think I care more about that. That could be wrong. Really don't want to try to double block that with these two. I guess I could double block it with this and the crab and not be that scared, right? That doesn't seem crazy. Like, ideally they don't kill the crab. I'd really like it if they don't. But this leaves me decent blocks even if they do. And this is almost ready to do the thing that it does. And the crab is no longer a problem. Or the bat is no longer a problem, rather. Gets him pretty close to dead. Which I think I like. Squidward isn't doing a whole lot here. But if I top deck a land, 3 damage would be significant. They did have effects on life gain. They had 1 Scion of the Swarm. This should have our relic golem turned on as well. I can't really chilling trap that creature. That would not be great for us. I mean, we could if we just want to blow it up, but this leaves us a potential win next turn, so I think we take this line. I think I could have won game 2 as well if I hadn't played out the 4-3. That rank bug is still a little silly, but go figure. We'll be silver tier 4 all day. All right, it feels good to get one under the belt. Maybe we have actually broken the format and you draft what's open and hope you get a good version of it. I got to fire off our Stream Raiders battle. YouTube, I'll be right back. I'm going to quickly grab a soda. Sorry about that. I usually don't take breaks while we're doing the YouTube drafts, but I was about to thirst to death. Drafting what's open in 2020? Who knows? Maybe that's the secret. And just accept that sometimes you get a good version and sometimes you don't. That is pretty hard to believe, Wallet Inspector. All right, we've got this one down. Falco with the kills, a Johnny with the assist, David with the assist at the last moment. A boss chest for ye all, scrolls for high-res, Oxy, Simwife, Grumpy Ajani, and gold for David. We did it. We did it, Reddit. And I have a level 20 monk. Yeah, we want the Grand Monk, obviously. Let's go. That's pretty cool. All right, and there's no more chests, so we just go whichever way now. Behold, my level 20 monk. All right, and let's see what we can do here. I wouldn't mind a 3-0. It's been a bit since we've had a 3-0 for the YouTubes. Cheers. I'm glad that emote made its way in. All right, let's go firstly. Woo, we got the crab. Yeah, boy. I think I keep this. I just don't think I'm particularly happy about it. It kind of desperately needs a blue. That was really convenient. Crab theory. Crab math checks out. We are crabbing it up. This card's super fair and balanced and a great include in any format. I should feel bad for doing this, perhaps. This is just like we drew it up. Golem, golem. What do we got going on over here? It doesn't look like particularly bad cards. Is that 2 Scourge of the Skyclaves? They got some burn in this deck, yo. Okay. You got me. I don't think you quite did that the right way, but you know, that's more for you than me. All right, so double Scourge, Null Priest of Oblivion, and kind of a defensive deck otherwise, which is interesting because I can kind of handle the defensive nature of this. I don't have much of a size board though, do I? Yeah, we just have to do that every draft, Adam. It'll be great. The Scourge isn't actually that terrifying until you get to the late game and lose to it. Like, I don't think they have a bad deck. I don't think I have much of a sideboard here either, so let's just draw that hand again. I'd be down with that. Hey, look, it's a crab. I like crabs. This seems fair. I would too, but this has happened to me so many times. Like, I don't know why this crab is in this format. It's pretty gross, yo. I think it still would have been good at 2 cards, too. Like, wasn't there an 04 that milled for 2? Mostly the crab taketh. Just in case we have to kill him with damage, let's set up a ground force. Mountain Dew or crab juice? Canada Dry, my friend. It's got what plants crave. They got 6 cards left. They're just dead next turn to me playing this wizard out. That's pretty stupid. Unless they kill one of the crabs, of course, but... This is not killing a crab. Alright, we figured it out. We broke the format. Draft crabs. And get silver 1 all day. What's up, Limestone? Easy prey. All right, let's see if we can get us a 3-0. That would be a nice change of pace for me. No, it's a bug. It's a visual bug. Apparently, I hadn't played a ranked game in, I don't know, 2 months. But apparently, if you play a ranked game and then go into traditional draft, it constantly does that. So you'll notice every time it's promoting us to Silver 4. Right now, I'm letting my best of 1 rank decay as much as possible so that when Kaladesh Remastered comes out, we can play some of it. But 'tis just a visual bug. Whee! I just don't like best of 1 in general. I'm glad you're having fun in Sealed. It doesn't do anything on turn 1, and with the crab, I'm going to want to play out all these lands, so may as well. Was my thinking. Might not have been good thinking. I don't know if I want to trade these off or not. I probably do. You and me both, Limestone. I wish I had more to tell you. Sealed's not available on Arena. And when it is, it's best of 1. Don't like best of 1. I could play Sealed on Magic Online again. But I don't really want to play Magic Online. It's a rough format. It's a rough format. Dang it, Bobby. I'm gonna have to give him a 4/4 and another. Nah. If I wait a turn, I can actually kill this with it, right? Because I could Spark Mage it for 2 and Hazard it for 1, and then I don't have to worry about it anymore. So we're gonna take another 6, which is terrifying, and then hopefully stabilize? Question mark. Okay, we are very close to dead now. But we could conceivably find a way out of this. If this cleric's deck has no way to gain life, which I suppose is possible. Not dead yet. Woo! Kind of dead now, though. That's the thing about crabs. I need more. Because I'm just dead to the flyer now. You can't expect to 3-0 reasonably. And that's been my issue with the format. Like in Ikoria and the core set, I was able to 3-0 pretty consistently. And just bumping into the nope does not make this one feel particularly good. They've got a lot of air power, which is causing me a problem. I think I screwed up by trading on the ground earlier. Because I really need to be able to answer that flyer. Oh, you can't really dirtle and expect a 3-0. Fair. Fair. Yeah, so maybe it's just an aggro format. Who knows? Yeah, I don't have a sideboard, so we can't really do much there. But like prior to firing up the YouTube draft, I had what I thought was a great cleric deck with 6 2-drops and just got run over. Run over. Go back and watch the replay, my man. You might be impressed. I think we're going to try to mill him out here. We'll see. I did have some pretty amazing floods going on in that deck. This guy's not getting any better than preventing that damage. Because right now they're just racing my lands. It seems like it should, doesn't it? That negative damage should heal you. They're at 8, so I just need 2 lands and we're good. I think we can chump our way to a victory here. Hey, what's up, Band Geek? We are definitely doing some crab theory shenanigans. I forgot that could fly. I needed to take that, because I'm in real danger now. Why am I so bad at magic? I just threw that one. I just threw that one, because there's literally no way for us to win now. That's rough, man. Just dying like that and losing the game. I guess we'll just take our loss. Or, you know, that works too, I guess. This is worse than the cleric deck we had earlier. It's just got a decent rare that's tough to block. I mean, put good cards in your deck. Sometimes you draw them. I took the wrong creature. I forgot all about what the darn artifact did. I'm just not used to seeing people play it. Oh. Past 5 drafts went 3002, 3021, 30. Nice. Fair enough, Band Geek. Yeah, I still don't have a sideboard because we flirted around with the other colors a bit too much. I don't remember the last 3-0 I've had in the format, so I'm kind of excited to see if we can pull one off. I don't think they actually have a way to kill the crab. Maybe we tilt them by winning in that fashion. Because they know we top decked it. Or at least suspect we top decked one of the 2 cards. So maybe we get a little tilt value out of that. Ooh, shoulder pain still there. Are you worried you'll lose your viewership when you lose your raw, unadulterated attractiveness? I mean, I heard a lot of complaints when I stopped streaming Magic, and people were saying it's awful. We have to watch young, attractive people play Magic. It's like, that must be terrible for y'all. Let's use they if you don't mind, Drake. Just because we don't know if it's boy or girl or whatever. It's horrible, completely unwatchable. I believe you. I think I want to save this to get their flyer if I can, because now I'm going to have to deal with that stupid squid. So what does that mean? We just trade these off and are happy about it? I think so. That thing's going to hurt. I need a bubble tea stat. I'm no longer concerned about their flyer because I'm going to need a chump block or two for this thing. So I think we make this trade, eat this. Cross our fingers? Because I can't take too much damage off the dang thing. Because then they just top deck a kite sail and kill me. That's fair, but I don't think we're winning with damage. Okay, the kite sail's gone, so that's a little less terrifying. Crap. This is what we were worried about. I'm in danger. Neat. I'm in a lot of danger. All right, this means maybe I can get Tabaraks. Or at least stall them off for a turn. Nope, that's probably not happening. They are playing a lot of good cards. I don't care for it. I wish they'd stop. I really wish they'd stop. So this mill's for 6, putting them at 4. So if there's a land on top, we may actually have this. No, I have to chump block with both. Okay, this doesn't work. Yeah, we could kill their Shade Dead, but I don't think we actually have a way to win the game from there. Because, like, they're at 3 cards. And they've just got too much power on board. Yeah, close, but no banana. That has been my experience here. Draft a deck that I think looks pretty good and go 2-1. But I'll take it. I'll take it. It's not a loss, and we are at least silver 4 now. So that's a benefit for us as well. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, for tuning in for this video. If you'd like to watch the drafting live, you can catch more at www.twitch.tv/Semulin, and you can watch me go 2-1 pretty much all the time. I appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll see you next time on the YouTubes.